So what is up guys, Nick here helping you to master your technology, and welcome to the iPhone 13 versus the iPhone 10 speed test. Let's begin with a boot up in 3, 2, 1 and see which one can get there first. Now the iPhone 13 does feature the Apple A15 Bionic, and the iPhone 10 is way back on the Apple A11 Bionic chipset all the way back from 2017. Now there's 3 GB of RAM on here, and they only went up to 4. Surprisingly, only up to 4 over all these years. Apple only went up 4. Well, 1 GB of RAM total, and you've seen the iPhone 13 slightly faster to boot up over the iPhone 10 on the iOS 15.2. And when it comes to their biometric face unlocking, I can say that they definitely did improve a bit on the angles for the iPhone 13. However, you can see right there that in overall speed, they're not too much off from each other. So you'll see right there the iPhone 10, sometimes if you're looking at a weird angle, you know, it doesn't always get you, but it's pretty good. And you know, this doesn't seem like something it's really noticeable in speed. So in terms of speed of unlocking the face unlock, it's quite similar on both of them, and I don't think you're gonna have too much of a better experience if you upgrade from a 10 to a 13 when it comes to Face ID. So guys, they're both on 15.2. Just want to show you that so you know I'm not kidding with you here. This is the latest official software as of the recording of this video. They're in 15.3 beta, but it's not available just yet. All right guys, so here we are at the app test. You can see everything is closed out for both devices. Let's go ahead and begin with clock. You can see about the same. We'll go into calculator, about the same, Instagram, and you can see the performance here so far not bad for that iPhone 10 going into these applications. And you know, a lot of people say, well, these things don't really matter. Well, it kind of does, because I use applications every day. I want to see a little bit of a experience improvement when it comes to animation speed, scrolling speed, as well as app opening as I pay $1,000 for my next phone. Let's go into weather. But you can see the iPhone 13 being 60 Hertz and being on the same software doesn't really provide a much boost when it comes to just your real world everyday opening. You can see the iPhone 10, even some things open faster, and that could be based on the network, but you can see the iPhone 10 hangs right there with it when it comes to Apple based applications. And that actually makes the iPhone 10 seem more impressive. You know, it just shows how well Apple has, you know, optimized these phones. And I was saying it before that I think that when they started coming out with these Bionic chipsets, that in the long haul, they're going to perform a lot better than back in the day with the 5Ss, because not only do they have more RAM, but these chips are a lot faster than they used to be. So when you buy an iPhone these days, all the way dating back to something like the iPhone 10, you are getting such a huge, you know, amount of time you can use it. You can see Twitter just didn't even open on the iPhone 10. Let's go ahead and do that again and see if we get a crash again. No, we don't. So you did see the crash. Look at me over here praising the iPhone 10. The iPhone 10 said, I'm gonna crash in your video, Nick bro. So you could see everything pretty smooth once we actually did get in there. eBay, and you could see eBay faster for the iPhone 13. And it's not like I'm getting up here and I'm trying to like give an old phone credit and be like, yeah, your iPhone, you know, 13 sucks. No, your iPhone 13 is way better than the iPhone 10 in pretty much every respect. However, what I'm saying is that, you know, these iPhones are really standing the test of time these days. And you could say that's because they don't change them much, but it's also because of how well Apple does optimize these devices. And I know that's an age-old argument. You're probably sick and tired of hearing that. And let's go ahead and delete this render. We'll have to reopen iMovie because that wasn't fair. That wasn't a render. We'll do that again. But you probably heard that argument 1,000 times over, but it's just proving itself here. And going into 2022, a 2017 iPhone right here, just doing fantastic. And it does look like Crossy Road did open first there for the iPhone 13. In the gaming department, that's an area where you do start to see big wins for the newer phones. They use more power, so they should open up these games a little bit faster when it comes to, you know, the iPhone 13, when it comes to stuff like Asphalt, PUBG, and other games. Not only that, you do have a better GPU on the newer phone, which does give it, you know, a little bit more power as well. So that's a good thing. And the iPhone 13 is way ahead here to load up Asphalt 9. Not surprised whatsoever by that result, and we're waiting on the iPhone 10. So when it actually matters, you could see that the iPhone 13 is definitely ahead. But you know, everyday basic use, and I mean, you paid $1,000 for your iPhone 10, you should expect better than basic use. But you know, for being a 2017 phone, it's doing well, and that just shows how well the iPhone 13 might do down the line. Some people actually think that Apple slows these phones down as they get older and that their iPhone 10 is faster than what they're seeing right here, but you're also not comparing it to an Apple A15 Bionic that's clocked in at almost a gigahertz higher clock speed than your iPhone 10, so do keep that in mind. And we'll go over here to Safari, and you could see loading up Apple, the iPhone 13 was a little bit faster. So overall, yes, what you probably expected, the 13 was quicker here, but you know, it really showed in the games, and it really just showed a little bit faster speed in a lot of apps. But the iPhone 10 did pretty well in the first row of applications. Let's go ahead now and go back through them and find out which is better at reloading. And so we'll go ahead and go through Safari right there. You see pretty good on both. The scrolling is a little bit janky on the iPhone 10 sometimes by comparison to the 13. Let's go into Asphalt 9. And are we seeing a reload? Oh my, we are getting a reload on the iPhone 13. That is annoying. I'm over here giving you praise, 13, and then you're gonna reload an application right away. Not cool. I could see the iPhone 10 users. Yep, I'm so happy I still got the iPhone 10. Come at me. Let's go into iMovie right here. We'll go into ESPN. We'll head up out of there. Best Buy. And then we had a reload for the iPhone 10. eBay. We'll go into Twitter. Pretty good. And Groupon reloads for the iPhone 10. So now they're about even. You can see pretty good there. Weather, we'll go on to Amazon, and a reload there for the iPhone 10. So the 10 with its 3 gigs of RAM, showing why, you know, 4 gigs of RAM is a little bit better. But then when you compare the iPhone 13 to, say, the iPhone 13 Pro with its 6 gigabytes of RAM, then this one starts to look like it's a little bit low on the RAM. But man, it's the iPhone 10 showing us that it has been a very good pick. If you bought this phone when it first came out, it's holding the test of time. So far, doing pretty well. And one of people's favorite things about iPhones, and it has to be the camera. So which one is faster to actually fire open that camera? 3, 2, 1. And you can see not too much of a difference. Let's go ahead and close those out, run it back real quick. Let's go to camera in 3, 2, 1. And you could see, it looks like the 13 a hair, by a hair. I'm talking like a hair. So just a hair quicker. Let's go ahead and snap the photo. 3, 2, 1, and not a major difference. So what does this tell me? It tells me that whether you're using either of these two phones, getting into your camera, you're not gonna miss a moment. Now on the lock screen, it did look like the iPhone 13. Now let's check the lock screen one more time. It did look like the iPhone 13 was faster, and you can see the 10 did well there, and now the 13, and again. So it kind of varies depending on how fast you do this. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and run a CPU benchmark, and I'll be back when they are running this test, and we'll check out the final scores between these two devices. And the final results are in for Apple's iPhone 13. You can see this is a ridiculous score for a phone in Geekbench 5, 1739 on a single. And you can see that actually comes in at around what we would expect, actually a little bit better than the average for the 13. And on multi-core, it's also a bit better than our average multi-core score for the 13. But you know, with the iPhone 10, we're about to close in on the final score here. You're not going to get anywhere near that score, but you will get something that is respectable, usable right now. It's pretty annoying though that you pay $1,000 and just a few years later, you know, your phone is nowhere near as fast as the latest. But you can kind of say the same thing for other markets as well. You buy a new car and then 2 years later the car gets upgraded, redesigned, and then your car looks older. So it's just part of the game here. You can see right here with the iPhone 10, respectable 910 single core. Let's get into focus there. We go to single core here. That's exactly what it should be getting. And then in multi, a little bit better. We got a 2180. Respectable. It's a usable phone. That is absolutely for sure. But one thing I will say is that the iPhone 13 is definitely a good upgrade. If you want a better camera, you want better battery life, you want a little bit of a different feel with that squared body. But if you like the curved body, it's a little bit more ergonomically comfortable. You'll probably miss your 10. But the 13 is definitely the faster phone here as you would expect. But the iPhone 10, pretty impressive that it still performs pretty well here in 2021, headed into 2022. If you ever click the like button for me, subscribe for more, and share your experience with the community if you haven't already on these two. Peace.